Good morning, mathematicians. It's Tuesday, week 17, and off we go. Goldie Socks. Goldie Socks has two bowls of soup. She wants to share bowls between her three bear friends. What fraction of the bowl will each bear get? What's being broken up and divided? Is it the three bear friends or is it the two bowls of soup? Thank goodness it is the two bowls of soup. And those are going to be broken up and divided among what? They're going to be broken up and divided among three bear friends, right? Well, 2 divided by 3 is the same as 2 divided by 3. So each bear friend is going to get 2/3, let's see, of a bowl. Okay, and now we have completely answered the question. Let's go to our next one. Solve the following using area models below. We see 462 and we see 53. This one differs because look, 462 is broken into expanded form, and down here it will be kept all together as 462. That's the big difference between the setup here. We have 5 times 2, which is, or excuse me, 5 times 4, which is 20. And then there are 3 zeros outside the basic fact. So we're looking at 20,000. Now we have 5 times 6, which is 30. And there are 2 zeros outside the basic fact. So we have 3,000. Then we have 50 times 2, which we know is 100. Well, 20,000 plus 3,000 plus 100 is going to be 23,100. I can go ahead and add that row. Let's get started with our 3 row. 400 times 3 is going to be a 12 with 2 zeros. Then we have 3 times 60, which is going to be an 18 with 1 zero. And 3 times 6, or excuse me, I said the answer, 3 times 2, which is 6. So I'm looking at 1,200 plus 180 plus 6, right? So really what I'm looking at here is 1,386 when I combine those values. Now I can add those together. 0 plus 6 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. And 2 plus nothing is 2. 1, 2, 3, comma. So I do have my answer here of 24,486. And that's true. But we were also asked to solve it down below. The big difference here is that we're still going to separate our 53 into expanded form, but we're going to keep this fully intact. So the first thing I need to know to solve this is what is 462 times 5, right? Then I'll add a 0 to it. Well, 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times, or 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. Now I have 5 times 4, which is 20, plus 3 more, which is 23. So I know my answer here is A2, A3, A1, A0, and look, an extra 0 outside of that fact. So the answer here is 23,100. Now I need to know what 462 times 3 is, right? 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. So my answer here is, well, let's see, 1,386. Now I am going to add these right here. I have 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 8 is 8. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 2 plus nothing is 2. So sure enough, as you take a look, I see my answer here and my answer here are the same, which they should be if we've done our work correctly. Now we are to shade 6/7 of the figure below. Next, shade 4/5 of the shaded fifths, right? Um, and I think it's 4/5 of the shaded sevenths. That really is the word that we were looking for down here. Now, the secret to this is let's find which of these is broken into 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I know I'm going to label 6/7 this way because the 7 tells me that there's 7 columns, and the 6 tells me that really we're thinking of 6 of these as where our answer is going to lie, right? We're going to see the overlap in those particular columns. Now we're going to have 4/5 this way. Do I have 5 rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure enough, I do. And I know that the overlap is going to be within those 4 rows. Now I look for where those areas overlap, and sure enough, they overlap all right there. Thank goodness this is not an art class, this is math class. Miss Lehman has colored that in kind of messy, but here is where our answer will be. Okay, now it did tell us to shade it. It didn't tell us necessarily that we had to give our answer, but we know that really what we're doing here is like multiplying. And sure enough, 5 by 7 means that in all there are 35 squares. 6 times 4 means that 24 of those are in that red zone, right, where the overlap occurs. One last question for this Tuesday column. We are asked to use the diagram to show 1/2 being divided into 2 parts. Then we're going to give an answer for that, and we're going to justify how our diagram shows our answer, right? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the first number, which is the dividend. So here is a half. Now this 1/2 is divided into 2 parts. So if I divide that into 2 parts, this is what I'm looking at. What I want to know is how much is that 1 part related to the entire thing, right? I know it is 1/2 of this 1/2, but how much of the whole thing is it? Well, if I were to continue, I would know that this is 1/4 of the whole thing. And when we justify it, we'll write something like when we split half of 1/2, we get 1/4. And that finishes our Tuesday column.